Thank you for joining us for another Into the Light video chat. And today, my name is Jolisa Blossom. I'm the development manager. And today I have Beth with me, and she is the lead trainer and the crisis response advocate. And she's moving into the program director role. So I was going to talk to her for a bit, and we're starting a video series basically how trafficking happens here in small town America, big city, rural, suburbs, everything. So Beth can educate us on that, and we're hoping that you'll continue to join us for these video chats. If you have questions about anything we talk about, if there's something you need clarity on, you can either put it in the comments or you can email us at contact@intothelightus.org. Okay, so let's start. Beth, how are you today?
Doing very well, thank you. Thank you.
Good. So the first question is about people on the internet. Tell me about that.
There are all kinds of people on the internet. Of course, we know that, but according to the FBI, at any given time, there are 750,000 predators online waiting for their next victim. And right now is an especially volatile time because of COVID and so many children at home unsupervised, access to the internet. That's such a dangerous thing. And then you may not think about it, but sometimes unsupervised adults can be a dangerous thing.
Yeah.
All these people that are used to working in a cubicle and somebody is looking over their shoulder, many of them are working from home now, and they don't have any accountability. So if they have predatory tendencies anyway, then now they kind of have free reign to give in to those tendencies.
So where are they going on the internet to do that?
Okay. Anywhere that there is live streaming and live chat is a dangerous site for children to be. And predators will nearly always go where the kids are because that's what they're looking for. Keep in mind that the average age for becoming a trafficking victim for a girl is 12 to 14, and for boys it's 9 to 11. So if that is who you're searching for, if you're a predator, then you will be going to the sites where they are. So right now, probably the most popular site for people of that age is TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
And while TikTok in and of itself is not necessarily bad, it is live streaming. There's live chat involved, and that leaves room for predators to come in.
Right.
There are other apps that are dangerous too. Snapchat, any of them that have the live chat, live streaming.
Mm-hmm. And do the predators sometimes try to direct them to an app, like I believe Snapchat,
right,
where the messages aren't saved?
Right. That's very
true. To hide
true.
Evidence, basically?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What about Reddit?
Reddit may not be familiar to everyone. They market themselves as the front page of the internet. And so you can go on to Reddit, and it's a community, an internet-based community. And based on your interests, there might be a group that you could go to for runaways, say. Predators would be very interested in a site just for runaways. And they call that subreddit. It comes under the heading, just picture the first page of a newspaper and the headings that you might have. Then this is similar but internet-based. And so maybe there's a section about runaways. And runaways from people interested in running away could come to that site. Or there might be a section for people living alternative lifestyles, and then predators could seek victims there. Or even people with eating disorders might get together on the site to discuss their problems and all. And then the predators see that as a vulnerability. Yeah. So they would come to that site looking for those vulnerabilities to target people on that site.
Okay, so the predators, besides looking for victims, what else are they doing on the internet that's no good? Okay. I mean, there's a lot of good in the internet, but there's obviously bad. So what would that bad be that's fueling some of this stuff?
Well, we can't talk about trafficking without talking about porn, because porn is one of the most, if not the most prevalent driver of trafficking. It creates a desire. Porn creates it releases endorphins in the brain, much like a drug, and people get addicted to it, and then they want to act that out. And so, just for instance, Pornhub is the largest, most popular porn site on the internet. And in 1 year, they had 42 billion visits and uploaded more than 6 million videos.
I just don't understand, why the government can't stop this, but we know the government doesn't do a lot of things we think they should. So, what else I know we talked about what else they might be doing specific to trafficking, and that is the fishing or scouting.
Oh, sure.
Right?
Right. So when we think about trafficking from the perspective of the trafficker, of those that are looking to sell children, or women and children over the internet, they have a system of marketing. And so first, what they're doing is they are selecting their victim, and we call that scouting. Just like a scout would go to a baseball game, see if that pitcher would be a good fit for the team. You have scouts on the internet looking for their next victim, and they look for a child that maybe is online, unsupervised. There's no one in the background saying it's time for supper or anything like that. They look for a child that seems to be needing a lot of likes and following, finding affirmation through that because they see that as a vulnerability.
Right.
And then once they select that victim, they will very often turn them over to a groomer. And that groomer will begin gaining more and more access to the child.
So, going back to the fishing part for a minute. So they're looking for vulnerable kids, but they're fishing for certain types of information, right?
Right.
Besides just the basic, unsupervised.
Right.
What kind of information do you think they're collecting?
Anything.
Or do you know they're collecting? I'm sorry.
Right.
We know these
anything
things.
that shows a vulnerability.
What about like personal favorites, family information?
All of that, because when they start the grooming process, one of the things that they're going to want to do is to make this child feel like, oh, they really know me. They really understand me. And the reason that trafficker, that groomer is able to do that is they've been looking at all their social media sites and fishing and getting this information about their favorite color, the name of their pet. Do they have a little sister? Is their relationship with their parents strained? Did their boyfriend break up with them? And they know all of these things so that when they're talking to them, they're just like so interested. And the victim, remember their children, will be like, oh, they understand me. And the trafficker will say things like, nobody understands you like I do. Let me make life better for you. Your boyfriend broke up with you. I'd never leave you. You're so beautiful. And all of those things that people long to hear that make them feel loved and needed and cared for. And a lot of times a trafficker will say, in order to gain confidence in this certain intimacy, will say, I've got a secret I've never told anyone. And they will share a secret with that child. And then that child feels like they're in with them.
It's like an intimacy.
Yeah. And then they will try to get the child to tell them a secret.
So the traffickers you're talking about, organized crime, and then possibly just individuals who are, cunning and evil.
They all have in common that they're power hungry and money hungry, power driven, money driven,
and sex driven,
and
like
sex
porn driven.
Right. But the sellers of our children, they see children as commodities, as a product to be marketed, and the buyers don't see their humanity either. They must have to turn off to that, or else how could you be buying a child to have sex with?
Right.
Yeah.
Or a stranger of any kind, really.
Yeah.
But a child especially. Yeah. It's just terrible. So we don't want to go too long on our video chats. We want to keep them a little bit short, but we will be talking more about this subject, how trafficking happens here. Can you tell me how, Beth, there's our last question, how can Into the Light help? Like if you're a parent watching or something like that, what do we do?
Right. There are a lot of good sites that you could go to help educate yourself. The National Human Trafficking Resources Center is a very good, accurate site you can go to. You don't want to use scare tactics or intimidate or anything like that. You don't want to be reactionary and just take away all their social media devices. That will backfire on you.
Right.
Anytime you can build in protective factors. I often tell people, if you teach a Sunday school class and you're investing into the lives of young kids, you're helping prevent trafficking. Building in those protective factors, being a protective adult, connecting youth to their community so that they're not isolated and alone and looking for their needs to be met in an unhealthy way. And contact Into the Light. We have brochures we can give you about internet safety and ways to protect your children.
Absolutely, and we'd be happy to send that information to you. If you want to reach us, you can call us at 870-470-9001. My extension is 707, but you can put extension 1 or, figure it out when you get there. If you forget, it's no problem. We're also on the internet, easy to find, intothelightus.org. You can email us again if you have a question through Facebook, Instagram, or email, which is contact@intothelightus.org. So we look forward to next time, and we thank you for watching.
Thank you.